I don't think it does. It clicks on, but then it stops. It's saying record though. Last time we tried to do it,
Well, it looks
Pebby's
like it's doing
recording
it.
didn't happen. The light is on though. It's blinking.
Yep.
Is it supposed to blink?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's when it's not recording, it's
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Bart, you have your hand raised. Did you need it raised?
Earlier, but now I don't anymore.
Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. We will make a recording so that everybody can see this who is not here. Hey, Carlos, glad to have you here. We are showing some exciting programming ideas. I have a whole host of friends who are here to demonstrate different things that you can do in a meeting besides 3 speeches, 3 evaluations. We have some games, we have some different techniques, and we're just going to go right down the list and go through these and save time at the end for some more brainstorming and other ideas as they come up. So we'll try to keep the questions to a minimum. You can ask questions, but preferably at the end of each segment. And then when we finish all of the different examples, then we'll go through and open it up and let people ask additional questions or give additional ideas, because there's several in here. So the very first one that I'm going to share is from our regional advisor, Violeta Rios, and we did have it at the TLIs, and we did have some people join the meeting. It was a lot of fun, and I just wanted to go through it really quickly to give you an idea of how it works. It's called the Thinking Hats, and the idea is to have people try on a different hat, meaning a different way of thinking than they normally do, and they go through a problem solving experience, and then they talk about what it was like at the end to try to think of a problem from a different point of view. It helps with empathy, and it helps with seeing multiple perspectives. So basically, the program involves 6 different thinking styles, and the goal is to come up with creative solutions to the problem, but also be able to think differently than you normally would think about a problem. So there's 6 hats. White is the black and white objective person, numbers person. Red is the intuitive. We called the black hat Eeyore. That's the person that everything is, oh my God, the worst it could be. And their opposite, their polar opposite, is the yellow hat. Everything is sunshine and roses. No matter what you come up with, this person thinks it's great, it's wonderful, everything's going to be okay. Then the green hat was creative, and the blue hat was process. So the blue hat actually ran the presentation because they determined who got to go next and how we did things. And we basically had 2 different problems that we looked at, and you could come up with any kind of problem that you wanted to brainstorm in your club. The reason I wanted to share it today is because even though I think it's a great tool for club officers to use, and Violeta actually got this from district officer training and decided it was a great thing to share with the districts, it's also something that can help your club in general. And especially, I thought, for corporate clubs, you could actually do something like this as a workshop to demonstrate the value of Toastmasters for creative problem solving to managers throughout your corporation. So those are the ideas that I think I would like to share with my own corporate club. So this was one of the scenarios. You're looking at pathways, challenges, uh, increasing adoption rate. And then the second one was low membership, which is, a typical problem people are looking to solve anytime. So you work through the scenario with each person putting on that hat that is different from themselves. So she had us basically look at who we most identified with and try to pick the hat that was the complete opposite or close to opposite. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And then at the end, you just go through and talk about what that was like for everybody. So that's Thinking Hats, a problem solving tool. Next up is the illustrious Margaret. Kathy, past district governor, I found this great screenshot of you from your Halloween party. She's got 2 different ideas to share with us: the backwards meeting that they just recently did and the Halloween party. And I have your handouts that we can share with people at the end, but I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the backwards meeting and let you talk, Margaret.
Sure. We've only done in this club a backwards meeting once, and everybody was kind of skeptical about it because they really had never seen it done. But now that we did do it, oh my gosh, they're like, can we do this again? How soon can we do it? Because it's so much fun. I have literally provided you with a script. And did I develop it? Oh, heck no, I stole it. I stole it from District 5. They literally had the script, the emails on what to send each person. In other words, what you really do need to have is that the Toastmaster must be an advanced Toastmaster, because they're going to have to really do a lot of winging. And then you also need the general evaluator to be an advanced Toastmaster, because they're going to give a whole lot of clues to the role players. We were very lucky in the fact that our speaker was Gypsy, who is a longtime member also, and she took everybody's comments or whatever, and she made it into a speech. And we were laughing so hard we were crying. It's a great time to be very creative, and just have fun. I guarantee you that the first one will be a little bumpy, but after you do it once, it really is a whole lot of fun. So I've given Kathy everything that you need to run a backwards meeting. So please, Kathy, get it to everybody and let them look at it. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. However, this is literally step-by-step instructions on what to do and how to do it. So the other thing is the Halloween party. We do this every year, although, I'm not really sure what we're going to do this year, because we're still not meeting face-to-face. Mm-hmm. We meet in a church, and we're just, the church has to be very, any business has to be very cognizant of, how to clean everything once we meet. So what we do is at the Halloween party is when you walk in the door, you get a cartoon character that's drawn or that's printed, and you get it put on the back of your on your back, get taped to your back, and then you have to answer yes or no questions, and you're all standing up, kind of like a social hour type thing. And then you go around and you ask a question, yes or no questions. Am I a boy or a girl? And sometimes it could be no and no. until they get the right answer. Once they figure out who they are, I'm Santa Claus. Oh, am I Santa Claus? Yes, you are. You'll go to a large whiteboard and you will write your name down, my name, Margaret, and then you'll write down in the second column who you are, Santa Claus. And then you go over to a basket that is filled with just objects, laptop, broom, cell phone, any book, anything, and you pull it out of the hat and you write that object in the third column. Then the Toastmaster of the day starts a story, and then that Toastmaster has to use, can be Santa Claus. Ho, 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 I was on my way to deliver presents and I lost my laptop. I lost my GPS, things like that. But then you do it like a table topics, the 1, 1.5, and 2, and then 2.5, we start clapping. Because it can get very long because every member participates. Every single one must participate. And then at the very end, you hope to have an experienced Toastmaster, because that experienced Toastmaster will come back to the beginning and they'll say, well, whoever they are, I'm the Jolly Green Giant. And oh my gosh, I got to meet Santa Claus. And he could, because I was up in the clouds and I was directing him because he lost his laptop, something like that. But that can really be a fun way to do a Halloween or Christmas or any other holiday type meeting. So those are my two best foot forward on how to make fun meetings.
Great job, Margaret.
Woohoo!
I want to come to the next Halloween party if we get to meet live.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, you're up. Holding a debate.
Holding a debate. Well, thank you, Kathy. How many of you guys have had that meeting where you've got one speaker and they drop out at the last minute? I know I've had that happen on several occasions. One of the things that I started doing is when I don't have speakers or no one is really volunteering to do things, we'll start by holding a debate night. Everybody loves competition, usually. And I found that holding debate nights, people have a good time with. So first thing I did was I picked a subject. I'm going to steal Kathy's share here.
Should I just stop sharing?
No, I'm good. I can steal from you.
Okay.
See? So the first thing is I picked a subject. Now the nice person who's holding debate night tells you about the subject in advance.
That's not Jason.
That's not usually me, but that's all right. My first debate night was the debaties, a debate on everything having to do with the 80s. The idea behind this was to get everybody who would not normally participate in on the contest. But people are sometimes nervous about giving full speeches. So my goal here was to have everyone pitch their topic in a positive way so that they would bring us into their winning message. I set up rules ahead of time, assuming my rules work. There they go. Sometimes it's a little harder to convince people to bring things to your understanding in a table topic, so I gave them a little more time. We found that 3 to 5 minutes was too much, but 1 to 4 seemed to fit right in to where you wanted it to be for people who needed that little bit of extra time, and for those new people who were really nervous about just getting up there and doing it. Now, how did we include everybody in this? Of course, we had all the categories. Assuming my categories work again. There we go. I came up with categories and then let them choose which ones that they wanted. So I got to pick the player 1 and then, of course, player 2, which is the person who's speaking differently. So, for example, let's take best television cop shows of the 80s. The first person got to pick one. Which one was the best cop show of the 80s?
Cagney and Lacey.
Unless, of course, you liked Miami Vice.
Yes, Hill Street Blues would have been my first choice.
Hill Street Blues was a good one, but it didn't fall into the category because it started before 1980.
Oh God, we busted ourselves, Gene.
I know, but still. But I tried to keep with the theme. And then each person would pick one, or I offer them, they can bring their own topic if the one they had on the board didn't meet their needs. Now, how did I get everybody else to participate? At the end of both presentations, I picked 3 people as judges to vote. Who gave the best presentation and did they win you over? Now, if you have a small group of maybe 5 or 6 people in your Toastmasters meeting, you can go through them all. But if you have like 18 or 19 people, you kind of got to cut it off at 3 or 5 so you can get on to the next one. And you go round by round. Once you've gone through enough of a round, then comes the semifinals, and then you can have a champion. And then as you go through it, everybody gets to speak on different subjects. Now, the next one here, I'm going to stop my share here. A lot of us a lot of us need to bring to our clubs different types of improvement presentations, such as moments of truth, better speaker series, how to do an enhanced evaluation, all sorts of things. I found that the best way to do this was to use a game show. We did this at the TLI, was a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Bart went through all the answers in his presentation before, and then we asked the questions afterwards. And this is a simple PowerPoint you can find online. If you want, I can email it to Kathy, and she can share it. It's freeware. So
yes, everybody wants the attachments, Jason.
Okay, then I will make sure you have them. So this is a simple Jeopardy board, and then I filled out the Jeopardy board based on each moments of truth, making the harder question, of course, worth more points. And boy, when they were really getting going.
Oh my word.
Oh
Cynthia
my gosh,
Bailey was a
competitions.
beast.
There are people that just can't lose. Even if they answer the question completely wrong, they still can't lose, or they didn't listen at all to the previous presentation. And
That
they
wasn't
think
you,
they know
Cynthia.
the right answer.
She was boisterous, though.
Being boisterous is okay. I love it myself. But the point is that this allows you to bring a topic that's really kind of dry and give it new life.
People love playing games.
People love
Yes.
playing games and love competing against each other, even if the prize is a little wooden block that says I won.
And with the fun we've had since March, having some games would be good.
Yes.
A good break.
And it's really easy for one person to control the board while the host goes around and make sure, okay, I want an organization for 300.
Oh my goodness, this is something you can do online too with
Yes.
Well, yeah, this is a full PowerPoint. This is just a PowerPoint file. So if I hit the start.
Over Zoom?
Huh?
To do this over Zoom.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This
You can see, well, I've got it going over Zoom right now.
You can get people ringing in by being the first chat responder or first hand up. You just need somebody to keep an eye on the hands and that.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
It's probably even more fun online.
Well, you just need a Vanna White.
Yep.
Exactly. And now we can start. And if you wanted to pick one like Fellowship for 100, and then
It's all moments of truth.
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the answer.
It's a really good tool too for new members to teach them
Yes.
stuff that is in documents that they probably haven't read yet.
So Jason, do you have a way on the back end to keep score?
It actually, well, If you break them up into teams, it does have a way to do that.
Yeah.
We broke it up. We had more than 4 teams because we
Right.
had so many tables.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And really the idea, it's easier for a person just to basically have a tally sheet
Yeah.
than to try to figure out how they came up with this scoring mechanism.
And
I
where
wanna
did you
hear-
download this?
I found it online.
Mhm.
It was PowerPoint for teachers.
Oh,
Yeah. A lot of this stuff is for teachers.
But
And
he's
did
gonna
you do,
share
did
this
you
with
do
us.
these columns? I mean, did you do the questions and answers?
I did the question and answers. They programmed the columns and the graphics and the links.
And get this, we
see
were
how-
supposed to have the world champion, what, 2 years ago, was it? And
Oh,
she
yeah.
got sick. And in San Antonio, so we, at the last minute, Jason put this together, and it was such a huge hit. People loved it.
This is great.
Yeah, and you can see how Fellowship for 100 is now off my board. So it even keeps track of that until you reset the program.
So you're sending this to us too, right, Jason?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll make sure you get it. I have it set up right now for Moments of Truth.
Okay, perfect.
So it's often the one we use it for the most, but there's no reason why you couldn't put in other things like
ECP.
impromptu speaking ideas.
Yeah.
Jason, Cynthia,
Yes.
if I wanted to change this to another topic, for example,
Yes.
is it just a text fillable where I backspace first impressions out and type in what I want?
Yes. All of it is.
Thank
The
you.
questions and the answers. So that when you first load it up, it's before you start the program, you just put in your topics, and then the question and the answers are all right next to each other. So membership orientation for 100, question, answer, then it returns to the main screen.
Okay,
That's the
cool.
way the link works.
Woohoo!
Wow, that's
And then
easy.
it just goes down each one of the columns from 1 to 5.
Will you demo the wrong sound effect?
Oh, yeah, sure. Which is funny that I can. Let's see, wrong.
Love it. Thank you.
So yes, I can actually demo sound effects.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
The things you learn on Zoom.
And so do you have kind of like written instructions or directions?
Some of these PowerPoints do when you download them. This one I don't believe did, but it was pretty easy for me once I got the first couple things in to figure out what it was doing. So let me back up and show you here. So I'm going to exit out. And you should be able to see now here
Yep, the layout.
my
Okay.
things. So it starts out with today's categories. Now I can put in, see, now I can edit. And then it comes down here into my questions. So, you know, it's
So
just
this
a matter of-
this whole game is in PowerPoint?
yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the reason it works, it has links in there that point it to the next slide, and then it goes in an order: 1, 2, 3, return to the top. 1, 2, 3, return to the top.
This is great.
Fantastic. Love this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
We might have to have a game night one night.
Why not? And I also found other ones that I'll include. I haven't tried these yet, but I found one for deal or no deal and one for the weakest link.
I like Family Feud.
There's one in there for Family Feud, but it looked okay.
Oh, okay. We might have to demo them one night. Do a game night.
And Kathy, I will go ahead and send it back to you because those are my ideas on how to have
Excellent.
Awesome
different types of
sauce.
meetings.
Okay, I'm gonna let Gene Ramsey demonstrate this because she had so much fun with it. So Jean, take it away.
Well, it's pretty funny. I don't know what to do, Kathy.
Well, we've got the same questions that are on here.
Okay.
So I can run the PowerPoint and you can just do the talking, okay?
Absolutely. So to get started with this is a little bit interactive. And we all had to open up our annotation tool, which is not located at the bottom of the screen where all the other fun stuff is. If you go to the top of your Zoom screen, you'll see a little black note that says view your options. And if you toggle on the annotate tool, you're gonna get a whole little list of different things that you can do at the top. What I want to encourage us all to do is go to the stamp and pick a shape that's going to represent you, whether it's the arrow, the check, the X, the star, the heart. I'm going to go for the heart. And here on this slide that Kathy's demonstrating, we can actually all indicate whether we are more dog people or cat people. And actually, it's not really about being dog people or cat people. It's, would you rather be a dog or a cat? Which is a distinction, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and heart for dogs. In fact, I'm gonna vote 3 times for dogs. So this is a fun little practice, isn't it? That you can kind of decorate it and
Yeah, I'm using the eraser now.
Yes. So you can, if you like, go to the top and hit that trash can, which is clear, which removes your, I just took my 3 hearts for dogs off. But I believe the host, Kathy, can just reset us anytime she wants. All right.
Okay, now I need to stop this and go to the next page.
Yep. So you have to get out.
I need to clear it again because
Why would you use this during a meeting? What would be the purpose?
so what we used it for in the district officer training at TI was icebreakers, just to get the meeting open. And actually, they have a Linda Williams in Denver. She's like our Linda Williams, but she taught the finance class, and we had to do multiple choice answers, and we used annotate. So it was a lot of fun.
Yes. So it's a way to engage people, outside of, you can also set up a poll, right? And say, hey, do you love dogs? Do you love cats? Which one? And somebody can click a button at one time, but there is something more tactile and engaging about going up and putting a heart right next to the dog and maybe a couple more right there. And then some down thumbs for the cat. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun, right? And also I think if you're doing a brainstorming session and you want to start to annotate, like this one really is getting like the hot response. Like you could have people put hearts or whatever next, especially if you're ranking. You have 3 options and you want to do 1, 2, or 3, right? So you give your favorite 3 stars, your second favorite 2 stars, and your last favorite 1 star. And it's a nice way to visually see how the pulse is in the room too. So there's a few different ways that you can do. It's definitely
one of the things you could do, Jean, is your member survey, and use annotate and actually score the different areas of the member survey.
Yep. So in a sense, it can be sort of like a whiteboard, but you're inviting people to engage and do something that's tactile, which can break up a long Zoom meeting. Love the cat. Who just did that cat?
Probably Jason. Was it Jason or Bart? Bart's smiling.
Bart.
Love
He's
that.
making that face.
Because I mess up stick people.
I am definitely a dog person. I think I would rather be a cat. I think
if I had to be one, I'd probably be a cat.
I think they live pretty good lives.
Oh, my cat does.
Yeah.
Cats have servants.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They
Dogs have to be servants.
Yes, they have the right. Cats have the right perspective. If you're choosing between subservient or just all these humans who will do what they do your bidding. I think I would rather have the cat's life, but I prefer the company of dogs.
All right.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Jean. I'm giving up on annotating. Okay. Let me clear this, and Bart's gonna show us the game that's all the rage right now. Why isn't it letting me clear? I did that myself.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, good.
This game has actually been used by quite a few clubs, and it's the Wheel of Names. So go for it, Bart.
Do
And
I have share screen abilities?
Yep.
Okay.
I can make you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So there is a website you can go to, and it's called Wheel of Names. This website, they basically give you this wheel, and you can put as many names as you want, and it gets smaller and smaller. So I put the names of most everybody that I saw that was here. I may have missed anyone who joined recently. So once you put the names in here, and it can be first names, it can be anything actually. You can write anything, and it will be a piece of the pie or a piece on the wheel. They even have a place where you can add an image. So one thing that you could do that was fun is if everybody posted a baby picture, you could have everybody put the baby pictures on the wheel, and then you land on one, and then everyone has to guess who they think the baby is. And then in the end, you could just write the answer. So you see it now on my face. So we can give this a try. I'll give it a spin and show you guys how it works. So you either click on here, or you can press Control Enter. So if I have a question I ask, and I've asked it, and I'm going to have Kathy, oops, I've misspelled her name. You have Kathy answer the question. You're not a winner yet till you answer the question, but so, there we go. So then I ask the question, and then once she has the question, then it should remove the name from the board. Let's see. Yeah, I see her name still here. Let's see if it's still there. That's still there too. I could just remove it physically, I guess. Let's see.
When I tried it, there you go. Then
So when it says we have a winner, then you can ask the actual question, and then it should, now you've got this button here where you can remove the name then, so it narrows it down, just like if you did table topics and you had everybody for a possibility. Once they entered a table topic, they wouldn't be in the running for the next one.
So what's the point of this?
It's mostly just to have, without me choosing, it's sort of randomly choosing people in their crowd.
And like you said, it doesn't have to be names of the people.
And once, let's say once Cynthia answers the question. Yeah, it could be question.
Yay!
Or you can use it to assign meeting roles if you're having a grab bag meeting.
Yeah, that's true. You can go like evaluator 1. We can do evaluator 2. Now, do you do speakers this way, or the speaker should be already in play?
The person who showed it to me had already done all kinds of things with it.
Yeah, so GE, and timer.
Well, the nice thing about this too is you can put it all into like a Word file, your lists, copy and paste it over.
Yeah, you just paste it all in there. This is just making a change.
Easy for yourself. And what I've done with this is I've had multiple wheel of names open. So I'll spin for a table topic, and then I will spin again on the next one for the question.
I was just going to say the same thing, Jason. Based on sort of like that backward meeting, you could put the roles in here, and that's what gets done first. So it wouldn't even be backwards or forwards. It would just be mixed up. And I think that would be a hoot.
The mixed up meeting.
So I might say, okay, the next person will be Kathy. And then we've already chosen a timer. So then we spin and see what role Kathy will take. She will be evaluator 2. Yay, everyone celebrate.
That's crazy, but I think it's funny and good
Yeah.
for those VPEs who's like trying to get everybody to participate.
And then we say, what is Jason
Yeah,
going to be
that's a.
playing?
Hey, can we do this for club officer elections too?
That's what it seems like sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't take no for an answer.
So there's lots of different ways you can play with this. So,
Yeah.
and again, you can put up images, so you can have a different image up there. I just put a picture of me, but you could put a picture of anything. So you could create categories like that and have people answer questions like, what is this? Like you might have a picture of a gavel and then ask, what is the purpose of this? And then, you know, so different things in the meeting. We put a picture of a lectern. What is this? And then everyone has to answer, what do you do it for? So that's a way to teach a lot of new people. Like I have a brand new club that's just formed, and we are expecting our first meeting in the next 2 weeks. And so this might be a fun way to teach everybody there what the different tools of Toastmasters are.
Yeah.
And so that would be a fun way to play with the game and teach.
That we can't play with yet.
Exactly. And then Jason had found a teacher tool. Well, there's actually a website called superteachertools.org. And on Super Teacher Tools, they have lots of different games, and they do have a Jeopardy game, much like the game he created. And here you set up the game, you name the game, you're the founder of the game, and then you can go in and edit it. But you can just create categories. Now this one's limited to 5 categories and 5 answers. Once you do the categories, then you can go ahead and start the game. And starting the game, it'll look pretty much like this was a Moments of Truth game as well. And so but we only had the 5 areas here. So I'd have to figure out a way around that, since there are 6 moments of truth. How do you figure out a way around this, or you just play a different game? But again, they have the questions, and that people can choose the question, and then so you got
Or double up on the categories on one of them.
That could be a way to do it. Yeah.
Or the other thing is to have moments of truth over 6 different meetings and just have very, I guess, defined down in the dirt kind of questions for that one moment of truth only on this board. And then at another meeting, the second moment of truth. Kind of do it that way.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So, but this is another different game one can play, and there's lots of things that are out there that help teachers, as Jason had mentioned and Kathy. And this is something I'd recommend everybody look into and see what they can do. And that's the games that I had to show.
Yay.
Awesome sauce. Okay, let's see what's next, because I do not remember. Oh, the links to more ideas. So does anybody else have something they want to share? Carlos, I know you're full of ideas. Did you have anything you want to share?
So recently I hosted a game night. It was a lot of fun. We had about 70 people registered. We did that.
7-0?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the first game we played was Scavenger Hunt. And we had people looking for items. And we had a panel of celebrity judges to see who was the first Toastmaster who would find the item. We came back, showed the item. Of course, that was hysterical, just watching people run all over their house. And then once that was established, like there were 5 items, there were 5 speakers or 3 speakers, whatever. So each one had to do a table topics based on what they were holding in their hand. And then the judges decided which of the 3 would win a prize. And it was so much fun. It was hysterical and very, very, very creative people. And then here's an idea for your social media platforms. As a way of being able to draw people to your Facebook, let's say, or your Twitter platform, we tell people the 5th person to go onto the Facebook page and post a comment or like the page or do a tweet, gets a prize. So it forces people to go to your platforms and then get engaged in there. And so even though I said the 5th person would who liked the page would get a prize. At the end of the evening, I had 15 new likes on Facebook. So you get people then they're trying to have conversations online with once they get on and engage through your platforms. Those are two ideas.
Do you
Cool.
have like instructions or directions about the scavenger hunt? It's like written down, or even in hand scratching. I mean, to where I could understand how to play the game.
I will share it with you.
Excellent.
I have his
Oh,
email.
Kathy, you have it?
I have everybody's email address.
Oh, okay, good.
That's the scary part.
There are descriptions online that describe how the games are played too, or different ways you can play the games.
Veronica, did you have any ideas you want to share?
So hold up just a second. I'm gonna come to a stop.
Don't be driving and talking.
I'm stopping actually. And so one of the games that I haven't played it with Toastmasters just yet, but I have another group of young children that I've played with. I've done the scavenger hunt. I was also done where you show a picture and then you have to time how many pictures do you see within that picture, right? And so in this case, it was a group of animals, and so you have to identify all the animals, and you give them like 30 seconds, and who can identify the most animals within that picture. That's one game you can do. Another thing you can do is a game called Kahoot. I have not tried it just yet. The children play it because then you go out to the website, you type in Kahoot, I think it's kahoot.com or something, and when you type in, you give them a code, and with that code, then they get these symbols, red symbols of a triangle, a circle, a square, and some other symbol. And then you see who can answer the question the fastest is basically how it works. Haven't figured out how to use it with Zoom just yet though, because they can't see the questions. And so I'm trying to work out those little kinks. But that might be a cool game to play if you can make it happen. I've seen it done with Google Meets, but I have not seen it done with Zoom just yet. So that's a YouTube video that I'm gonna watch and see how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. How about you, Evelyn? You have anything you want to share with us?
Played Jeopardy before, and I've done the Cahoots game before, and it was really, really fun. So I feel like Veronica has also given me a new challenge. I need to go figure out a way so that me and our club can do something on Teams. We're actually transitioning from Zoom to using Teams. So I'm really not for sure how much longer we will have Zoom. So it may be something where we need to figure out some additional options.
Yeah.
But I feel like all the information that was shared, it was really very useful information. And we are having a club officers meeting next week, right after the holiday. And we were just talking about last week after our last club meeting that this next meeting we wanted to do a game. So I feel like I have some really good ideas. So for that officers meeting, I can present something and we can make those tweaks and we will be ready for the next meeting. And then also do something fun with table topics.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna try to do some more engaging activities.
Awesome. So one of the things that I did too was do a big, search of games on the internet. And here's some of the links that I found. The best one was this one that has all the different things listed under it, starting with what's in the box. It was a young girl. She was probably not even 20. And she had the best little video chat and went over all these different games. And one of the things that was cool was a memory game. It's what's on the board, and you put all different kinds of things on a board, like maybe 2.5 feet by 1.5 feet wide, and you just like pin different objects, and people get just maybe 20 or 30 seconds to look at the board, and then you put it away, and people have to write as many of those objects as they can. So that was cool. She talked about Name That Tune, which everybody knows about. Pictionary. I liked What's in the Box because it was super simple. You put an object in a box and close it, and people have to ask yes, no questions to try to solve what's in the box. And only thing you can basically tell is it's not bigger than the box because you can't see it. So that was pretty cool. And there's lots of different ideas that she gave. Some of these other ones only had maybe 3 or 4 ideas, but I think I only listed a few. I think she had about 15 on her little video. So that's why I listed it on here. Anybody else got anything they want to share? I feel like we've covered a lot of ground and we still have 11 minutes left.
This is Cynthia. When you were talking about that, it reminded me of when we did bingo, when we went to the district conferences, and clubs could play something as simple as bingo over maybe their 2 meetings in a month or a period of time where they fill a role, they do an evaluation.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Organize dessert, or well, now that we don't meet in person, it would be like virtual cake, but maybe some way to play a bingo game just within your 8 to 10 or 15 club members.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to point out that this is this is a lot of the creative thinking that I talked about in my TLI presentation. The 2 easiest where you just guess. You just come up and you guess, creative guesswork. And it's like brainstorming, just throw everything out there. It doesn't even have to be logical. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but maybe it could work, so at least try. And then of course, there's just regular creative thinking or option thinking. What are my options? If A doesn't work, I'll go to B. If plan B doesn't work, there are 24 more letters. We can just keep going until we find something that does. This was by far one of the most interesting and educational sessions I've attended in a while. I think it has a lot of practical application.
Oh yes, game theory is big business. I mean, there's lots of people making lots of money doing it. I don't know why Jason Wald hasn't gotten into the business yet.
There's certain things they won't let me put on a game card.
Actually, I have a question for Jason.
Yes.
In the debate night,
Yes.
how do you choose a winner?
Based on the votes. So you pick 3 people to vote on which way they were persuaded.
Oh, okay.
And I were debating on whether or not New Coke was a great idea. I would probably have to take the yes and let Kathy have the no, but she would probably win because people would say, yeah, I believe Kathy.
I would use hypnosis on them.
Well, it was the best decision Coke ever made. It's based on the votes of the people who are not actively participating in that round.
Okay.
What is that word game? My nephew loves it. I can't think of it right now, but they have all kinds of paperback books, and you have to put a word into a slot, into a blank, and it lots of times it creates just nonsense stuff. I think that would be fun. I can't think of the name of the game, but there's all kinds. What is it?
I said that doesn't help us.
I'll have to, as soon as we hang up, I will remember the name of that, but he has tons and tons of those word puzzles.
There's probably a way to make concentration also, where you pick B6 and F9, and if it's the same answer, you win, you know. I haven't thought about it in a Toastmaster application, but I'm sure it'd be simple enough to do.
We need to do some practice out there doing some of these applications and come back later in the season and do a part 2 to game night.
Okay.
Or
And
maybe have different clubs practice some of these and then come up with more.
So
Yeah,
Kathy, I have a question.
yeah.
When it comes time in early 2021 for the next officers training, in the elective sessions, maybe we could have all the electives be a game, a different game, and teach all of it that way. I mean, just to make it, and we officer training and game theory. I don't know.
I told Jason this very idea. How long ago was it, Jason? A couple of, I don't know, 6 months
I
ago?
can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Did you ask me this question?
Yeah, we talked about this after we did the Jeopardy thing.
Well, this is where I smile and nod.
Yeah.
And this is where I go, you've got to make the advanced training better.
I was just about to say this would be great for advanced training.
Yeah.
Like, instead of teaching moments of truth, you can see how much the advanced training, how much people remember what moments of truth is all about, and use that as a teaching tool versus just going to the senior presentation for advanced training. And people who don't need advanced training, because they will get the presentation, while those in the classes would do more of a game of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Let the advanced officers run the games.
That's true too.
Well, I mean, to me, I'm obviously I'm an advanced officer, 21 years. I have gotten more out of this 1 hour session than I have ever gotten out of any TLI or advanced session. I can just tell you that.
Well, one thing too,
Ralph.
is part of this is to make something memorable.
Yep.
And game theory
It's
is a great way to
engaging.
do it, but a lot of other ways could work too. So for like advanced officer things, if they have to answer a question about moments of truth, they have to answer it as William Shatner, being Captain Kirk.
Oh, that would
Or
be
Tweety
interesting.
Bird.
Yeah, you have to come up with something.
Let's use
And the way
Margaret's pictures and they draw a character out of the bag and then they draw a question out of the bag.
Right.
And they have to answer in that character's voice.
Or you do 2 wheels,
Exactly.
and one's a character and one's a question.
There you go. Lots of different ways. Okay, so this group is the committee coming up with the next TLI. Problem solved. Yes.
You know you're in trouble now.
No, I just think, I mean, I've gotten so much out of this. I truly have. I've written a whole page of notes, and I know that I'm going to be getting some more information from you on, directions and instructions.
Yes.
And that's what I'm craving, because I'm old in Toastmasters and I need some new ideas. No, I do. I need some new ideas. And this right here has given me new ideas on how to refresh my club. And I'm going to be trying all of them.
But I want to share with everyone, Margaret, I always use Margaret's Club as an example because they don't do open houses, which I, quite frankly, am not crazy about. They do a speaker series. And when I went, I had so much fun doing my little presentation with her club. And she had different speakers. Lark was one of their speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a great example of what you can do in a meeting. It does not have to be 3 speeches, 3 evaluations.
Because we had a speaker series, and basically we used the month of July because a lot of people are gone, and we try to pump up our membership, and so we get community leaders that are Toastmasters. And if for you in Austin, Scott Carlin is, I think he's the outgoing president of the National Speakers Association. He is a Toastmaster. You know, of course, we used Lark. David, oh my God, David,
That guy's name.
Brooks.
world champion.
David Brooks.
David Brooks. David Brooks loves doing, you know, loves doing those kind of presentations.
And that is easier now on Zoom.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now,
Yeah.
we have not done the speaker series on Zoom. We're trying to figure out how we can do it.
But there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do it.
No, I know, but we have not done it on Zoom. We have done it in person. And believe it or not, we typically have about 20 people come because they want to hear these community leaders speak. But once again, you know, they need to be Toastmasters. But there's a lot of community leaders that are Toastmasters.
And a lot of community leaders who could be Toastmasters.
Yes.
And they should be.
That's up to us to convince them.
Well, guys, I hate to say it, but we are out of time. This has been so much fun, and we definitely need to do it again. So put your thinking hats on. What else you want to see and what else you'd like to see in this series. But let everybody know it's going to be available. It's recorded, so now I just need to stop the recording.